Well, the concept of agility is a very important one these days. And where I think the real action is at the level of the individual person. So for a company to be agile, you need people who feel the freedom to invent, to continually experiment, to be unafraid to try new things, and to be continually learning, adapting, revising their plans, their ideas in accordance with what they're learning rather than what they have done in the past. So organizations that seek to be more agile have to account for the needs of individuals to feel free to innovate. Well, there are many aspects of HR activity that constrain people from thinking freely about what is possible. Where HR can be helpful is particularly in the leadership development sphere, where I have a lot of experience, including as the head of leadership development for Ford Motor Company, which I did for a few years while I was on leave from the Wharton School 20 years ago. And part of our charge, and where I think many organizations are going and need to go, is to create opportunities for people to learn what it means for them to lead, no matter what their role, no matter what their career stage. And that requires an education about what's most important to you personally, as a human being on this planet right now. What do you care about? What's your vision of the world you're trying to create? And who are the people who are most important to you, not only in your business life, but in your whole life, in your family, in your community, and for yourself, your mind, body, and spirit. The whole person needs to be accounted for. And HR systems and organization leaders that invest in the idea that you've got a whole human being there who's got a lot of interests, perhaps as a friend, as a parent, as a citizen, who wants to make a difference. If you start with that idea and help people to feel free, to talk about, to identify, to look inside, what are my core values? What's the vision of the world I'm trying to create? Who are the people that are most important to me? How do I talk to them to find out what they really care about and what they really need from me? And to use that information and continually get smarter about how to take in the world around them so that they can invent, experiment with new ways of getting things done that are good for themselves, for their families, for their communities, and of course, for their businesses. I call this concept four-way wins. Pursuing innovation to improve performance, to make things better at work, at home, in the community, and for yourself personally. And when you do that, when you invest in the whole person and you take seriously the idea that this is the source of your agility, the human being, and you empower her to make positive change in her world in a way that's good for your business and for her and her life, you're going to spark innovation throughout your organization. And that's what we've seen in our research over the last 20 years, where people are empowered. They're taught to focus on what matters most to them and the people around them, and to invent new ways of getting things done that are good for them and for their world. I think the key there is to, as much as possible, emphasize individual initiative and innovation. It's very easy, it's not very easy, but it's easier to standardize and to have a one-size-fits-all approach to everything from recruiting to compensation to long-term planning for careers. But what we know is important now, especially for younger people, is an individually customized approach to your whole life. And the organizations that are emphasizing that are competing effectively in the labor market, because that's where people want to go. They want to go to an organization that's going to say, We care about who you are as a person, individually, and we're going to try to align your interests with ours so that you can have a meaningful contribution to what we're doing and to give your life a greater sense of purpose.